In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're restarting this. This is our second recording of this. Jesse was dumb and didn't record Joey properly.
Yeah, no, I was trying to, make really loud moaning sounds, and Jesse kept telling me not to do that. But
Yeah,
whatever.
no, okay.
So basically, I was on the point of, but before we ended this, Metroid Prime as a series, and I'm of the mind that the first one is the best because it does not have ammo. Well, it does have ammo, but not for the guns. Like but for the missiles and the super bombs and the super missiles, those are all ammo based, which means to do a super attack you need to have ammo for specifically those,
I
but you
mean, you
don't run
need
out
to
of bomb.
do ammo for super bombs and super missiles.
Well, yeah, I know, and Metroid Prime 2 has ammo for that, but it has ammo for fucking everything, and it gets kind of tedious, especially with the fact that it's a 3D Metroidvania.
I suppose.
And it like I don't know like if you've ever run into the scenario, but this is a thing that often occurs to people I've talked to about this. And I grew up playing this game with multiple people, so like this was a big game for me when Metroid Prime 2 came out. uh Whenever they would go to like the dark world or something, it's easy as fuck to get lost because first off, the design is crap. I hate the dark world. It's
I don't
trash.
mind the design. I just wish they made it a little bit more clear, like where you need to go and stuff.
Oh,
They kind of made everything look the same, so I think that was kind of
that's a design. That's a
okay.
design
That's part of the
problem.
design. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I was thinking aesthetic.
Oh, the aesthetic is a little bit too simplistic, I'd say. They needed a little bit more variation, I think. Kind of like Metro Prime 2 as a whole kind of needed a little bit more variation because it was kind of just a lot of gray and brown.
Once you got to I want to say the city area, I got a little bit more variety in the colors, but
Maybe, but like Metroid Prime 1 had like you go to a volcano, you go to a broken down ship, you go underwater, you go into a tundra,
that's
these
true.
are these are dynamically different things, right? Uh, Metroid Prime 3 almost got that right. They had no right to get any of it wrong though because they could go to different planets.
Oh yeah,
Um, Metroid Prime 3 is bad for a different reason. It's good because it made it so you don't need ammo anymore, and that was useful, especially with the Wiimote being the controller. Uh, but it was bad because it did like a big thing that happened with the Prime games, and you didn't start out with the first one. You started out with the second, I think, right?
yeah. I started out with the
Or,
second.
okay, so I've played Prime 1, 2, 3, and Hunters was fun,
I
sure,
never
whatever.
played Hunters.
It was all right. I mean, for a game that was like one of the first online shoves they had on a DS console, it was pretty solid.
I had the demo for Hunters because that came with my DS way long
Ever,
and
ever,
I know,
everybody had Devil for
I
Hunters.
know.
Yeah, but it was all right. It wasn't above the world. I'd try remaking it today, and it would be way better. I bet because there are enough characters in the Metroid series, and I think that making a bounty hunter based game where you co-op team up to hunt different bounties would be really cool.
You know what I
But
want to see? I want to
what?
see them to take another crack at like a more traditional Castlevania, but in 3 dimensions. They kind of tried it with some previous games, but it wasn't quite as fully baked as it could have been.
Oh, and you know what the problem could be because like which one do you mean? Because there's such a big range. There's a guy who uses a spear for his main weapon in a classic Castlevania. A guy who uses a whip. Guy who uses a sword. You know, technically, Symphony of the Night is classic.
Oh, I don't
Uh,
care. The one I was thinking of, it was the one with Isaac. What was it called? Um, Isaac and Hector.
oh, Rondo of Blood
The
or
one at
Bloodlines?
I think the one after that, the sequel to that one. But
Bloodlines is the one that had the American and the
yeah,
guy with the spear. The
no,
only one that didn't star a Belmont or an Alucard-esque
it
person.
was the one where you find like innocent devils and that are in stone and you get like little pets that follow you along. It's in 3 dimension.
Castlevania 64?
No, not 64. Oh no, God, not 64.
I'm trying to think
Hold
then.
on, now I gotta look this up.
Is it on the PS2?
Yes, it's on the PS2.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about. It's based on Hector, and he's a soul forger. I got you.
Yeah, that one. You know the one. My
Okay,
God, it's the name is escaping me. It was like Castle.
it's you know what the problem is that like that game and all of the Lords of Shadow games are almost good.
I know, and that's why I want them to take another crack at it because
Well, like I want them to do Lords of Shadow 2, but more dynamic. That combat style was better to me.
So combat wise, Lords of Shadows are great. Unfortunately, they're linear as fuck. It kind of shorthand a lot of the exploration aspects of Castlevania.
Well, then hand it over to the Japanese fucks who made Aria of Sorrow.
But
fucking quick fix.
But yeah, so if they had like exploration and the good combat, I think we'd have the like perfect Castlevania game in 3 dimensions. Every time I bring this up to a bunch of people, they're like, "Nah, whatever. The ones they had were terrible." But I was like, "So it could still be good, like the Sonic games."
I'll be clear. Which ones were terrible? That's the question, because like there are good ones.
I don't remember. I haven't talked to them in a while. I can't remember. That was a conversation a long time ago, but.
Like, the one with Hector was really good, and everyone liked that one. It was just like a hidden gem because it was when the series was already on its last leg and it was dying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, gaining its death and rebirth. Well, it's still still needs the rebirth part, but
it just receded to handhelds.
The handheld games are great though.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I think they had bangers.
Also, Joey, I hear you didn't care to share with the class.
It's just lettuce.
Lettuce, really? That's the lamest snack ever. I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds like chips, maybe, I don't know, something. Nope, lettuce.
Shut up and let me enjoy my crunchy water.
You know what? It's healthy, so I'll give you that.
You wanna hear something that's gonna make you laugh really hard? You wanna know what's in alongside the lettuce?
What?
An ultimate burger from Famous Dave's.
Wait. Are you doing the thing where you take the lettuce off and eat it first?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Joey. That's such a weird thing to do. Just order it without the lettuce. That's what most people do.
Because I still want to eat the lettuce.
You can order it along the side usually.
I just don't want it to offshoot where I put my barbecue sauce.
You want to keep it covered in the mayonnaise and stuff? You want it covered in the mayonnaise and stuff? Is that what you're looking for?
No. This thing has bacon, pulled pork, pulled brisket, rib tips, and barbecue sauce on it.
Oh, rib tips.
Dude, rib tips are fucking good. Like, you had bird tits before?
No,
oh my God.
There's like no decent restaurants around here, so.
I mean, it's okay to go for like. This is why you gotta get your driver's license, because I know where all the good ones are in your state.
I know, in my state, but here's the thing: even if I get my driver's license, it's still mostly fast food for a really long time.
No, I know, like, because it's actually not too far away that you can get some good places. You don't forget, I had to drive to your house multiple times. So I passed a lot of stuff.
If you talk about over in Wyzetta is so expensive with its other restaurants. That's like, yeah.
Chill
if I want
to
break myself, Red Robin's all right.
Red Robin's good. Endless fries too, but like we ate there once. That was delicious.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was a nice time. But I was gonna say, Metroid Prime, the only one that's infallible to me is the first one because it didn't have a multiplayer mode to fuck up. Metroid Prime 2 sure did.
I don't know. I think if they did it good, Metroid multiplayer in 3 dimensions would be fun. Could be
right, but they proved they couldn't, so they shouldn't. So, yeah. That's why the first one wins over that, because it didn't make a bad thing. It just made nothing, which is better than a bad thing.
Dude, remember playing Metroid Prime 2 multiplayer with my friends previously. It's literally, if you get the weapon first, you win.
Yeah, dude, it's basically Golden Gun mode in GoldenEye.
Then there's this one map with a cannon on it where you can enter the cannon, and the cannon one-shots anyone it hits, and the only way to destroy it is to get behind it, and dear God.
It's like fighting a like endgame boss.
Except every time the boss kills you, they get a point, and when you kill them, you only get 1 point. Ugh.
Yeah, no, a big thing for me is in terms of multiplayer. So I played a lot of. Here's my list of games I played back when I was in like middle school and junior high. Right. I played Need for Speed Underground 2 and Most Wanted. Those are like some of my favorite racing games.
I played Carbon. I played Carbon.
Carbon's good. It started going downhill a little bit. Like they were in the right direction. The turf wars and shit and more customization was really cool, but they dropped a lot of the things where it's like, oh, get the pink slip. Oh, the areas that you drove in weren't as fun. I couldn't just go up to the canyon and flip myself off the cliff whenever I wanted to. But yeah, Need for Speed Underground 2 and Most Wanted, Mario Sunshine, a lot of Mario Sunshine.
Sunshine's not multiplayer.
Well, I'm just saying what games I played in that time, and I'll tell you like which ones like I did multiplayer with.
Though I definitely did a lot with Sunshine myself, so Sunshine's just fun.
Yeah, no, like it's hard, and it's I'll be clear. Rose-colored glasses off. It has one of the worst physics engines in any Mario game.
Oh no, that game is held together with duct tape and prayers.
Yep.
And some of the missions are a little, shall we say, not built correctly.
God, I hate the fucking Manta Ray mission.
The Manta Ray mission, I don't say is bullshit if it was like later in the level, but the fact that it's like this is the first introduction to the level and just destroys you. It's
there's a glitch. There's a glitch where once it gets down to one piece, it can go hide in the water.
Oh, it can? That never happened to me.
Yeah, sure happened to me more than once.
That's hilarious.
Dude, it just makes it unwinnable, and I have to restart the entire thing, and it's a time sink mission. That's the thing that kills me.
Oh yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah. Like it's so big and there's so much to do. It's just there's no way you're completing it in like less than 10 minutes. But Sunshine, I played a lot of the Sonic Adventure games.
Oh, I played Sonic Adventure 2 to hell and back.
Let me tell you right now. I got all the S rankings. I got all of the unlockables in all of the extra modes. I had all of my gardens full of different Chaos Chow. The Hero Garden had only Hero Chaos Chow. The normal garden had normal Chaos Chow, and the Dark Garden had Dark Chaos Chow, and they were full. And they had 99 stats in each one. Dude, I will tell you right now, if there were trophies back then, I would have earned all of them.
You have gotten the platinum?
Dude, I got their space suits for all the characters, which you can only complete by getting every single emblem in the game and S-ranking everything in the game. Even the time trials and boss rushes. So, like, I was really good, and I lost all that motor functionality.
You lost it. Dude, I remember when I was at your house and we played a race and I just destroyed you. I was like, Joey, are you alright? I don't think you were.
No, because it just hit me, man.
Which, mind you, at that point I hadn't played the game in years and the motor functionality was perfect for me. I was like, wow, it was like I played this just yesterday.
Yeah, no, it hit me. I'm like, my glory days are gone.
Of course.
Like I beat you in the next match though, so.
That was when we switched over to other modes, wasn't it?
No, it was a race mode that we did.
I can't remember.
Yeah, we did racing. Mostly because racing's the easiest one to play with.
Well, racing one's the fun one. Yeah. Emerald one's kind of fun if you got somebody who knows what they're doing. But
I mean, racing's kind of unfair in the fact that once somebody gets ahead and they know to grab the rings, the other guy just loses.
Oh, that's why I play as Amy. If you get 10 rings as Amy, you win. Boom, you win.
I mean, a big thing here is like the only character she can't counter is Metal Sonic.
I don't know. Even
Because
Metal Sonic, if he's not in a position where he can get into his barrier, boom, then he's done.
Oh, I mean, but that's the big thing is his barrier is so easy to just toss on.
I don't know. You just gotta screen peek, Joey. That's all you gotta do. Just wait for the right moment.
You know, screen peeking is dishonorable, and I don't accept that as a thing that you should be allowed to do.
Just like Odd Job and GoldenEye.
Dude, GoldenEye is kind of a trash game.
GoldenEye's fun as long as you're not taking it too seriously.
As long as you don't have to aim your goddamn gun.
As long as nobody's playing Odd Job, you don't have to aim your gun. You just have to face them.
Dude, when your shooting game's downside is aiming the fucking gun.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
See, I have Nightfire on the GameCube. That's much better.
Nightfire is great. Dude, Agent Underfire was the first good one.
Well, yeah.
Nightfire came out, and that one is like just, oh, hey. Wait, let me see what this tank does. And then you bring the tank over and explode it.
Yeah, everybody's always talking about, like, hey, why can't we just go back to, I miss GoldenEye multiplayer. Nobody's ever played Nightfire multiplayer.
Dude, Nightfire's so fucking good. Even From Russia With Love was really good.
Nightfire multiplayer is I would say,
pinnacle.
Yeah,
it's the pinnacle for yeah, I agree, 100%. It's the pinnacle for 007 video games.
Which they haven't come out with a good one in a while, which is a shame. But
well, they haven't come out with a game in a while.
Yeah, they had a few on the Wii. They had they had one on the Wii U.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
no, the Wii U was a while, Jesse.
Yeah, I know. Well, technically the Wii U was just last generation, so it wasn't a while, but
last generation, one generation of video gaming is like at least 5 years. That's a while.
Yeah, but the Wii U was a short one. The Wii U was a short live. And the Switch has been around for like 4 years. God, the Switch has been around for like 4 years, damn it.
Yeah, and the Wii U was around for 2 before it, so it's 6 years.
Well, no, there was one on the Wii U. I was saying, yeah, well, whatever.
yeah, no. The Wii U was around for half the time that the Switch has been around.
Ugh.
Dude,
old.
It hurt. They're starting to shut down the servers for the Wii U.
I know.
Yeah. So I've been eyeing stuff and seeing like what on the virtual console for like Game Boy Advance games can I get.
Still can't believe they didn't continue the virtual console on the Switch.
It makes no sense, but it makes all the sense because they want you to pay an annual subscription for it.
I know what they want, but I figured they'd be a little bit smarter about it. But no.
No, dude, they don't even know to make their servers like proper. Even though like they're let's be clear, right? Like we can agree on this. Disney and is to cartoons as Nintendo is to video games.
Yeah.
Okay. So Disney also does not make the smartest choices.
Yeah.
We can't assume that conglomerates think about what'll happen to their player base. They just think about what happens to their pocketbooks.
See, the thing about Nintendo that always bothered me is that Nintendo's still run by mostly the same people. So it's like,
the things are stuck in their old ways.
I know. So I don't think it's a matter of faceless conglomerate of people of aliens who are controlling it like Disney is.
Oh, yes, it is.
Nintendo's problem is everybody's old, stuck in their ways, and you can't think beyond.
Yes and no, but there's a board of directors behind every major company.
Oh, that's true.
That's why Sony makes shit decisions all the goddamn time. And that's why they bought up Crunchyroll and Funimation and now have a monopoly on anime services. Which is a real thing that I want to address in a moment. But getting back to the multiplayer games I played back in the day, Nightfire was going to be on that list.
Oh, yeah. Because
it's just that good.
I mostly played Halo with my friends, at least the friends I could get to. I didn't have too many friends I could play with, mind you. So, the friends that were with me for at least a year, I had a year where I played mostly just Halo.
I stayed off of shooters for the longest time. The first series I actually got into after like Doom and Duke Nukem 3D on the DOS box and shit. Was Fear.
Fear.
Fear. Fear 2 is one of my favorite shooters.
See, I mostly didn't play. Well, I had Metroid Prime 2. I had on the GameCube. I had Nightfire and stuff. But I also played, I guess, on the N64, if we're talking. I had Turok 2. That was mine. Back when we 5-year-old Jesse played fucking Turok 2.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bought it on Steam the other day. I was thinking about let's playing it, but I need somebody who wants to play it with me. Yeah, do it. I never actually finished Turok 2 because that little kid Jesse could never figure it out. But you know what? Modern old person Jesse totally won't be able to figure it out. But
get Turok 1 and beat that first. Because like Turok 1 and 2 they tie together.
Yeah.
But they're also not extremely long, and they're good.
Well, the levels of Turok 2 are pretty long.
Oh, I know. That's why you build up to it. But like, what I'm saying is, it's a good game. They've been re-releasing like these classic games on consoles too, and I've been just eating it up. Like I got Doom 1, 2, 3, and 64. I have Duke Nukem's collection, so like all of his expansions and shit with a couple extra ones because of what it gives you. All those Doom games include collections and mods included that give you other games to play on them, although they don't include Chex Quest, which upsets me. They gave me Quake 1, which I love Quake. Gave me Republic Commando, which is a great game, and it made the Bad Batch a thing. What else did they do? There was a...
Oh my god, I just remembered. My favorite multiplayer shooter is Time Splitters Future Perfect. Have you ever played that one?
Time Splitters is good. It's like a parody of shooters.
Yeah, but the actual multiplayer is lit and super deep.
Yo, don't say lit.
Oh, I will say lit, because we're talking old school shit.
Dear Lord.
Whenever I talk about old school shit, I gotta say, like, rad, I gotta say lit, I gotta say tubular, I gotta say all the old shit.
Did you ever hear of this one, it was a fucking RPG, like rock, paper, scissors, but like interesting, and you draw your monsters.
Oh yeah, you loaned that to me for a little. No, I didn't loan it, but I played it at your house for a little bit.
Magic Pencil's pretty solid.
Oh, yeah.
They made a successor of sorts called Graffiti Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you can draw it, and based on what you draw and how you draw it, they can have different attacks. And it's an action platformer. And that's fucking sick. But like there are different monsters in the world that you can get their forms that are bases that you can use too, and they have their own attacks. And there are like secret monsters that you can get and shit. The worlds are cool.
This kind of reminds me. This is kind of a little dumb. I want somebody to make a game like Spore, but like without all the bullshit that Spore has.
So you want them to make an evolution creator?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Makes sense. Isn't there one kind of like that? Like you can choose to evolve into certain things?
Yeah, there's a few that are like really light on those mechanics, but I want one that goes like super deep.
Like from a deer into a tree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I want my little tree amoeba to go through a whole lifetime of switching between eating things and not eating things.
You mean eating things and drinking things?
Yes. I don't know. I'm sleepy. I'm a little sleepy. I don't know if you haven't noticed. Like my brain like shat on that thought halfway through. It was like I give up on this thought.
He's like, yes. Whatever you said, I agree.
I don't know. See that. So like the reason why I want a game like that is I've always liked games where like you build up characters like in great depth. Troubleshooter. I talked about this in my Troubleshooter Let's Showing thing I did at the end. Troubleshooter had like such a drastic like customization on your characters with all the masteries and stuff, where you can add all sorts of weird abilities to your characters. And an evolution game like Spore is just ripe for that type of gameplay.
You know what? I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I think one of the big issues with it would be it would have to be on PC only.
Yeah, well, depends on when it's done, because consoles are catching up pretty decently on that type of size.
I don't think they're ever going to actually catch up. Like, there are consoles that have been able to take on mods and they've shown a compatibility with being able to utilize them. It's just like they never really will outside of just individual games, you know what I mean?
Fair enough. But that's why you have multi-platform. It doesn't just have to be on PC. It could be on both.
If consoles ever do catch up, the PC players will never admit it.
Oh, yeah.
That's just something I've learned to accept, is like, if the day ever comes, it's like, consoles will be cheaper than a PC.
Consoles are cheaper than PCs. You buy a $300 PC, your games are going to run like shit.
If you build a $300 PC, though, maybe not.
Even buying them, buying a bill, yeah, no.
Building
Trust me, I got a
PC,
$1,200 one, and there's still moments where I'm like, yeah.
well, yeah, but you paid for commission, didn't you? You had somebody else build it for you?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, that's different. You had commission. You can probably build your own PC for the cost of a console, and it runs way better than the console. I think that's the issue, is that not a lot of people know how to do it, and I get that. Like, that's a fair argument. Not everyone knows how to or is willing to learn how to do it.
Well, my problem is I got the shaky hands. I don't want to break any of my expensive parts.
Exactly. And that's fair. You know, that's a fair argument. But, like, there is a way to get a PC that is affordable comparatively to a console, especially in today's age.
So how's getting your PC ready there, Joey?
I just don't want to do it. I already told you. There's a fair argument for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, right now I have so many games on my consoles, I need to put my time into these.
Oh, you need to put your time into those?
Yeah. Dude, like, I have almost 100 games on my Switch. I have about 55 games on my Xbox. I have 210 games on my PS3. I have 855 games on my PS4. And that's not even talking about the games I have on my Wii U, my 3DS, my PS2. Between all those, that would probably be about 200 games. Oh, and my GameCube and my Wii. Yeah, 200 still. About 200 games. So that's a lot of game that I've got, you know. Out of our friend group, I think that the only person who comes close to the amount of games I have is Izzy.
Does Izzy have a lot of games?
Izzy has over 1,000 games on his Steam. I know.
Oh, on his Steam, yeah, I figured. Just every time I talk about Izzy, I'm like, yeah, you have this console? He's like, no.
Oh, no.
He doesn't have any console games, so I'm like...
He used to have a 360, but, like, keep in mind the 360 isn't very viable for long-term use. And also, like, it's not useful keeping an older console from an Xbox. It's better to have a newer one because you can just play the old games up from it.
Listen, I'm just glad we got him on the Switch.
I mean, it was inarguable that it's a good console for somebody who's focused on PC.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's portable, you know?
It's portable, and it's got a bunch of games the PC doesn't. Which you can't really...
Yeah, no, they'll never release any Nintendo games on PC. The problem is that they will try to find ways to emulate them. And PS4, their source code was cracked recently, which means that they'll probably be able to find a way to do it to the Switches eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Because the PS4 and the Switch are about the same in terms of... Or the PS4 is a little bit more graphically and technologically intense because of its size, obviously, but then the Switch, they'll be able to reverse engineer the Switch. The problem, I think, is that when you emulate newer games, it's a lot more dangerous for your computer.
Oh yeah. But I think another thing is, a lot of people just don't want to emulate. Well, I mean, compared to the Switch, a lot of people just don't want to emulate a lot of the PS4 games simply because, well, a lot of those games end up on the computer. Legitimate.
Yeah, like we talked about this, I think last time, right? Where I was like, Ratchet and Clank is like one of the last bastions of an exclusive.
No, I don't think we talked about it on podcast. At
Yeah,
least.
Ratchet and Clank, I think, is the only real last bastion because God of War has come to PC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Crash Bandicoot's on all the other consoles.
Mhm. So it's not an exclusive anymore, but Ratchet and Clank is consistent.
To be fair, Crash Bandicoot Warped was on GameCube too, so yeah.
Well, yeah, I know that was when they were trying to branch out to get more money because it wasn't Sony that crafted it was Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
And Naughty Dog had a whole history with shitting the bed.
Dude, we need to bring all the Naughty Dog IPs back.
We need to bring the Sucker Punch IPs back.
Oh, those two.
Sly Cooper and Infamous need to come back yesterday.
I'm still surprised they haven't come out with the new Spyro game. They came out with the trilogy. It did good.
That's great. I don't want that right now. I want another Sly Cooper game because that one left on a cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah. If they do come out with one, it's not continuing on the cliffhanger. You know that, right, Joey?
I'll kill them.
The soft reboot, Joey.
Also, I want another Infamous because I want to see more interesting powers utilized in weird ways. Like, oh shit, concrete? How about oil?
I think it'd be cool, but I don't think Infamous as a series is quite dead yet.
It's been dead, yeah. Because you know when the last thing for Infamous came out?
What?
The beginning of the PS4's life cycle.
It's kind of long, but still.
Okay, I'm gonna put this into perspective for you. I'm gonna do you a solid. Yep. The last thing for Infamous came out 8 years ago.
Oh yeah, that is pretty bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. Because that was the expansion Last Light for Second Son, yeah. Which was interesting as a game, but didn't speak to me as well as Infamous 2 did. Infamous 2 was really fucking fun.
Yeah, I played Second Son.
Second Son was alright. Infamous 2 was my choice.
Oh yeah.
Usually.
Who doesn't like our red and blue superpower system? Yay.
Well, to be clear, it was one of the first games that did it. Like that and Fallout 3 were really popular back in that era for specifically having a karma system that they didn't really have like that built and hard built into the game. You know what I mean?
I mean, Mass Effect did too, so.
Mass Effect came out right after those ones.
To be fair, I don't remember Fallout 3 being known for its karma system.
And I'm going to be clear, the karma system wasn't really the karma system in Mass Effect. It was the point allocation system, because you either put your points of charm or intimidation in the first Mass Effect, and that dictated what you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's different. Not based on choices necessarily, but based on how you build your character. This one was built based on what you choose to do with something. Like, I choose to detonate the bomb in Megaton. Okay. That's not very nice.
Oh yeah.
You know, I choose to fucking let the other people die so I can save my wife. It's not really my wife, and that wasn't very nice. You know, it's just it's a different way of doing it. But like, I guess it wasn't technically what Infamous and Fallout 3 brought to the table. I mean, it was new when Infamous brought it up, and that was why everyone was like, what the fuck is this game?
I mean, I'm going to bring this in a little bit. Fallout New Vegas had the better karma system, and it was still kind of jank.
Well, I mean, of course it did, because, you know, Obsidian worked on that.
I don't know if you were watching my New Vegas Let's Play. I was an absolute monster who slaughtered entire towns, and I had a good karma.
I mean, bottom line is this. It's the same engine.
Yeah.
In every single one.
Oh, I was saying throughout the whole Let's Play, man, every mistake, I'm like, no, it's the engine's fault. This is Bethesda's mistake here.
Yeah.
Which I might be
Like,
over defending the devs a little bit at the same time. The mistakes I
no.
see are the ones that are consistent between Bethesda games, so.
Oh, Bethesda in-house games. Let's note that because Bethesda also is responsible technically for the remakes of Wolfenstein, Dishonored, and fucking Doom.
No, Bethesda as a publisher is fine. It's just
Bethesda owns those companies, so that is
yeah.
technically their property. Which is why I'm like, it's not in-house work. Because, like, it's subsidiary work, not in-house work.
Yeah.
But it's Bethesda. They're subsidiaries.
Listen, they're just not being forced to use the engine. They're good. Could you imagine Doom in the Fallout engine?
What I'll say is, of the engines, I think my favorite engine out of the 3 subsidiaries that have made a FPS game, like, I think that Wolfenstein has the best one.
I'm not sure because a lot of engines are a little bit unknown or like built off of other engines, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Oh, like utilization of the engine, I should say. But Wolfenstein the New Colossus is fucking amazing.
I haven't played the Wolfenstein games.
You can curb stomp Hitler.
Oh, that's fun.
To death.
You know,
it's pretty great.
You know, in Persona, I think 2, you can be friends with Hitler and take over the world with him.
What?
Yeah? You didn't know this? That was one of the endings to Persona 2.
What? Japan don't do that. You have a history.
No, they censored him to, like, in Japan, it was just Hitler, but when it came over to the United States, they gave him a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses, and they called him the Fuhrer. It was hilarious.
Yes, the only acceptable cameo for Hitler is in Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn, where he's beaten up by 2 kids. That's the only acceptable cameo for Hitler.
Or Wolfenstein, and where you're kicking his skull in.
Yeah, yes, actually. It was pretty great. It was like, you need to play the hero of the Nazi rebellion. And then, like, you're Blaskovich and you're going in, and it's like, all right. And Hitler's sizing people up, and you can just punch him in the, like, he's like, go into the tank and do the roll. And it's like, you can walk up to him and beat his ass. And they're like, you want to curb stomp Hitler? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Dude, it's such a good fucking game. It's so weird in all the best ways. But, like, you want to know who survived the Nazis? The Black Panther movement. As they should. Fucking dynamite people that they are.
Oh, yeah.
And the cities that you travel through and the enemies that you fight are legit terrifying. Like, you know how in Doom it's like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I have my Uber shotgun, you know? Or in Dishonored, you're like, I have superpowers. I don't give a shit. I'll just cut your head off from a distance. In this one, it's like, oh my god, that's a giant robot dog that shoots fire and missiles. I'm gonna run, throw a rock at you, and then I'm gonna pull out a laser, and I have to stick it on you for a while because they live longer in this one. It's like you actually have to be tactical about what you do, and your stealth, like, is basic stealth. So, like, you do throwing knives and shit, right?
Yeah.
Or basic sneaking and knifing, sliding knifing, all that stuff. And, like, you have a suppressor on your pistol if you need it. So it's some good old it's high end classic stealth is what I'll say. But game's really good. Got a lot of extra content. The guns feel powerful for, like, just being basic guns.
That's good.
There's one that's called the Streusel. It's pretty funny.
Alright. I don't mean to cut you off, but my brain is starting to shut down.
Alright.
My ability to concentrate a little bit, and I feel like at this point in the conversation, I'm just letting you talk.
Oh, okay. So, one more question.
Okay.
So, what Nintendo IP do you want to come back?
What Nintendo IP do I want to come back? Ooh, okay. I have to actually think about this now. Pikmin would always be the classic. As it is dead and hasn't returned in a while. But
you kidding? Yeah, the game on the Switch.
remake. It's just a redo. Well, not remake. They just re-released a re-release. That's what I was thinking. That was a Wii U game that they just brought to the Switch.
They released them at the same time, though.
Let me think. But let me think. Like, what do I actually want return? F-Zero is a classic, but I don't know if I want that to return as much as I say like Star Fox, but like good, not like last Star Fox. They haven't made a good Star Fox since Assault.
Amen to that, brother.
I mean, I'm always of the mind that Mario and Luigi's been dead for a while. That one hasn't come out for a while. I wouldn't mind that one coming back.
What do you do with the man who has Fury? Like, he's gone.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He's dead. He could return, or he could not. I don't know. Let's see. I want original Paper Mario pack. No, not opening that can of worms right now, but still. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Like, what's a bunch of old ones?
Side note: I'll take any Paper Mario as long as there's a leveling system.
Oh yeah. Actual
like Super Paper Mario or Mario Thousand Year Door, either will be perfect as long as there's a leveling system.
Let me think.
I want to feel like I earned something. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think. You eating your burger or are you still eating lettuce?
A little bit of both.
You're making really gross noises, so I think we got to cut it off now, Joey.
I'm not.
From my perspective, you are.
No, I'm not. Answer the damn question.
Answer the damn question. I don't know. It's a hard question. Advanced Wars just got a remake, and I want that series to come back. You know what? More than anything, I want Advanced Wars to come back because I love my strategy games.
Okay. I want a remake of the original Fire Emblem.
Oh, if you want if we're talking remakes, ooh, that's a whole different can of worms. Because then we're back to Paper Mario. I want Paper Mario remade.
I could agree with that. It needs it.
Especially the original one, I feel like deserves a good remaking.
I just think that they need to take Binding Blade and Blazing Blade, smash them together, and remake it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That just, because it, like, you know that, like, Roy comes from a game that's, like, in the future of the one that we got here first, right?
Yep.
Yeah, makes no fucking sense.
And they never released him in America.
It was, yeah, no, we got the second Game Boy Advance game here, and they're like, well, we have the first and second. The same shit happened with Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, where they released Warriors of Light and Shadow only in Japan. It's like, what the fuck?
Unfortunately, because Echoes didn't do so hot, I don't know if we're going down the remake list anytime soon.
Well, there's a reason Echoes did not do good. There is. They chose to go back into the NES balls-to-the-wall hard style of combat. And that was a bad choice. Like, let's be clear here. Fire Emblem is not overtly tactical, but it is, right?
Yeah.
It's hard as balls in some areas, like, and some it's fine. You can hyper-focus a character, level them up, all that stuff. And there are enemies that they can't fight. Echoes made way too many variables. Way more than most tactical gamers would ask for.
I don't know. Even playing Advanced Wars, it's like, that one has a lot of variables.
Not like that. Like, this is NES Fire Emblem.
I know.
NES Fire Emblem is overtly complicated. It's like, another comparison I could draw is look at Nobunaga's Ambition now as opposed to back then, and you'd be like, well, why is it more complicated? And it's like, I don't fucking know, but it is.
I'm weird when it comes to my strategy games. I actually prefer them to be more complicated.
I know, but like complicated and convoluted are two different things,
That's
right?
true.
And convoluted is the problem that Fire Emblem suffered from, and that's why it didn't immediately come to the West. Same with Nobunaga's Ambition.
See, like, you gotta make that difference.
It's gotta be coherent. I think a good new game though.
Okay, do you know what strategy game that I absolutely hate the fact that not too many people have actually played, and everybody always talks about its prequels instead?
Tell me.
Final Fantasy Tactics A2. I love that game. It's fantastic. People don't like it because it's not Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
What I'll say is Final Fantasy Tactics is a bench setter.
Oh.
And you can't take that away from it.
Let me tell you something. A lot of indie turn-based strategy games are trying to make Final Fantasy Tactics. It's like how all those indie games, Pokemon games, are trying to just do Pokemon but better.
Oh, no, obviously. I mean, there was a game that I played back in the day called Telefang. It was literally just Pokemon, but it was only released in Japan.
And this Pokemon subject I'm going to have to put a pin in because Cody was telling me how he wants to do the podcast on when we discuss Pokemon. But
oh, okay.
So next week when we have Cody, we might have that one.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Also, don't know. I'm not gonna lie, Joey. If I can't get both of you, I'm cutting you out of next episode.
Oh no, that's terrible.
I know, terrible.
Well, just pick the date and I'll tell you.
All right, I'll talk to Cody.
I work Sunday through Thursday every week.
All right, Sunday through Thursday every week. Gotcha. Tell the audience more about your personal life.
I mean, I have a 5-inch penis.
Oh, 5 inches?
Yeah.
Soft or hard? That's very important.
I mean, it depends on who's looking.
Okay.
But yeah, I was trying to say earlier. I was trying to brainstorm real quick about which game I wanted another game for because we already know Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be coming.
Well, okay, Kingdom Hearts 4 is not coming for 10 more years. You know that, right?
That doesn't matter. I'll be alive. It's fine.
You'll be alive.
But, Mega Man Legends 3.
Mega Man Legends. Oh, yeah. That's the RPG ones?
No. Oh, that one's the action RPG dungeon crawler, like the 3D one. That one was the one that was super, like, story-based and shit. And like Mega Man, and are you gonna play him ever? Might not
eventually, hopefully. If the opportunity comes and it's there, I'll be like, yeah. If they ever bring Legends back, they'll probably remake them. Yeah, wait, Capcom doesn't do remakes often, do they? Now that I think about it. Now that I think about it.
Remasters all the goddamn time.
Oh yeah. Well, what they'll do is they'll do Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Ultimate Edition, Street Fighter 2 Super Mega Edition, Street Fighter 2 Super Ultra Mega Edition, because it combines the last two.
Jesus.
That's what they do. But they never remake an old game. They never go back.
That's a lot.
It's true. Have you seen Street Fighter 4 titles? Street Fighter 4 is the worst of them.
Jesse, Street Fighter 2 has 5 different versions.
Oh, that's less than I thought.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4, I remember, was getting ridiculous after a while, though.
It has 4 versions. The Street Fighter 3 has 5 versions.
Oh, man, only 5 and 4? Man. My brain was way inflating that. But
and
maybe
Street Fighter 5 has 2 versions.
Well, default and with all the DLC, I'm probably guessing.
I mean, I'm not noting the alpha games technically. If I were to count the alpha games, wow, that'd be a bigger number.
Okay, see, you weren't counting them all.
Alpha has 8. Like, because it's alpha 1, 2, and 3. But then, like, you have branches for all 3 of them.
Oh, branches. You gotta get flowchart.
Alpha 1 has 1 extra. Alpha 2 has 2 extra. Alpha 3 has 2 extra.
I Oh well.
Alpha 3 Third Strike is the best one though. That one's fucking great. That's where the Daigo parry came from.
Oh, you know, they did remake Resident Evil 4 several times.
They remastered.
Remastered.
They remade Resident Evil 2 and 3.
That's true. Resident Evil
that company, if they're in charge of it, do it. I love those guys. They let me play as not just tofu. They let me play as like matcha. They let me play as fucking bean curd. And depending on what type of block of viscous material I was, I had a different weapon. I think I was on stream the day that I was playing, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just going through this area, I guess, because I couldn't hear Mr. X at all, because you can hear him walking.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't hear him at all, and so I was running around the corner, around the area where that guy's body got cut in half, and you get your notebook and shit. I was walking like where his lower half was, and I turned the corner, and Mr. X was just walking towards me there, and I screamed.
God.
Dude, I was like, dude, I'm just gonna walk out of the corner, and I ran away.
That reminds me of the one time, oh my god, this was the favorite prank I've ever, semi-prank I've done to you, was when we were playing the Fatal Frame game at your house one day.
Fuck you.
No, and you went to the bathroom for a brief second, and during this period, I did the controls and stuff, because we just started, we hadn't even entered the first door yet, so I was like, I was getting the controls while you're in the bathroom, and then, we're walking through a dark hallway, all of a sudden I get chased by a ghost, I'm like, how do I run yet? And I started pretending like I didn't know how to run, even though I learned to do it while you were in the bathroom. And you were freaking out. I was like, that was funny.
You're a dick.
I got killed by a ghost, but at the same time, it was hilarious. I died for a good cause. But yeah.
I had a buddy.
You're freaking out. I'm like, Joey, how do you run? I don't know how. Just
so there's an idle animation that happens every now and then in that game too. That's really fucking creepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in the third game, the girl with the bandages and shit. This is the main character.
I don't know. I haven't played any Fatal Frame aside from that short period we did.
So basically, she controls the house that you're wandering around in.
Yeah.
Now, I left the controller and I didn't pause the game. I was in a safe space so I wouldn't get attacked, but I didn't pause the game.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I left to go eat and I was gone for about 30 minutes and I got back and the screen was filled with curse markings and shit and her face was just staring out of the screen and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And it never happened before because I'd done that multiple times. It never happened before. So I was freaked out a little bit because,
See, that's a kind of trick to horror games is that they can't be predictable. I think that's why, say, Silent Hill kind of, is only scary the first time you play them. After that, and even, halfway through the Silent Hill games, you kind of get a figure for all the monsters and stuff. It kind of stops being scary. So, I feel like it's very important for, horror games to just not be predictable.
Dude, people meme on Pyramid Head fucking the shit out of that mannequin.
Oh yeah.
A big thing about horror games for me is that if you don't get that certain factor, but without a jump scare, right?
Yeah.
You haven't really gotten the horror aspect. Like Mr. X, right? He's never jump scaring me. I can always hear where he is. So, the closer he gets, I'm basically jumping myself. But not because of, a jump scare.
Oh, yeah.
That's genius.
The best jump scares are the ones that don't actually exist.
Yes. Yes, sir. Another good horror game was, I talked about Fear earlier. That was really good. That was fucked up, but it was really good. A lot of cannibalism in those games.
It's weird because for me, I usually don't like horror stories for the horror aspects. I just don't care much. I have this weird disconnect when I play the games that I'm not as scared as most other people are. I do love the stories of the horror games, though. All those horror game stories of, like, cults and horrible shit going down. I do love them. That is my phone. Oh, never mind. It's not the point. So, because for me, it's like I want to play the horror games to get the story, but I don't want to actually play the horror games. But that's what Let's Plays are for. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's why the spooky level is always my favorite in non-horror games, because that gives me the little bit of the spooky lore that I usually like without actually being a horror game.
Big thing for me is when you get a kids game with like a good horror level, doesn't it feel like way better than a real horror game's horror level?
Yeah. Well, I think of A Hat in Time, it's like, oof. So, I think it comes to that aura of unsurprised that I was talking about earlier, that aura of like not really expecting it that makes horror so much better. Because in those kids games, you don't expect it.
Dude, A Hat in Time made me almost pee myself with that. I'll be real. Like, I was not ready for them to make it that much. Like, the music coupled with, right?
Yeah.
The screen shaking and the color usage.
Oh, I think one important thing that Hat in Time does that sometimes horror games kind of screw up. They did not make it a cutscene when she first appeared.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was not a cutscene. You were dropped right into the horror. And I think a lot of horror games kind of screw that up, where they'll show you a cutscene of the monster when they first appear.
Resident Evil 2 did that too, where they made it not a cutscene. He just broke out and you immediately had to go.
Yeah. And I think that usually is a trick for horror games to kind of avoid. Don't do a cutscene to introduce your monsters. Just let the monsters jump you.
So you need to get Fatal Frame games because these are all fitting into your categories.
I know Maiden of Black Water came out on the Switch, but I heard the original version of it was kind of crap, so I didn't want to touch it.
Oh, no, it's not related to the first three are a trilogy that are based in a single story. The fourth one starts a new one, so it hasn't built a story yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first three are the ones I was recommending to you, but the second one specifically.
Yeah,
Every Fatal Frame game has an unkillable ghost.
You know, we were talking about games that need to be remade. Fatal Frame, let's do it.
Yeah.
Or at least bring them, like, port them.
Dude, I had a friend, I'd go over to his house after school every now and then. And, like, I played through Fatal Frame 3.
Because I was thinking, like, I did watch you play a little bit later into the game on your file, and I do remember, like, what little bits of lore I was getting. I was like, ooh, I want to learn more about all this stuff.
Dude, like dark cult shit.
Oh, I know. And then you take a picture of a ghost, and they gave you a little story about how the ghost got there. It's like, oh, this is nice. I love this.
and really cool things about 3 is that, like, you have your home and you have, like, the main protagonist. By the way, the roommate is the main protagonist of the first game. So she also is connected to the house you're visiting in your dreams. But it's your safe space. You have your cat, you have your friend, and your home. You're in the game. Nuh-uh.
Don't spoil it, Joey, in case I ever want to play it. I know. Silent Hill 4 did the same thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, Silent Hill 4 was less slow paced, like slow and deliberate. It was very up in your face when shit happened.
That's true. I think Silent Hill 4, it was still a good thing when it happened, and there's a lot of small things leading up to it. Like,
in fact, of the Silent Hill games, Silent Hill 4 is my favorite.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I like Silent Hill 4 too, as well.
Yeah, because it just is more consistent with its.
Mind you, I've never actually played a Silent Hill game. I've only watched Let's Plays of them, which actually, yeah. But that's fine. Like I said, I don't care for the gameplay. I prefer the story.
Right. Yeah, no, a big thing about Silent Hill is let's just note here that the first one's, I don't like saying it. You know what? I'm gonna say it. The first one needs a remake. It's so bad.
So I was actually, speaking of the first one in Let's Plays, the reason why I even started thinking of Silent Hill is because Wooly's doing one. He started one of the original Silent Hill, so now I'm rewatching the original Silent Hill.
That game is hard to play.
It's hard to play, but one thing Wooly noted and I noted is that during that first chase sequence, it was still pretty fucking top tier. Like even today's standards, it was still pretty good.
Maybe, but my issue with it is entirely not just control based, but like graphics based. It's so grainy in the bad way. Like it makes it's kind of like invisible blocks in Mario World. It's not really difficulty. It's artificial difficulty.
So for me, I feel like a lot of the graininess kind of makes it look like an old found film. So I wonder if if you remake it, if you could like kind of keep it.
Well, don't keep it in the same way though, because like there's tedium and then there's acceptable medium transference. That one
you got to find the right balance, man.
doesn't have that right now.
It's like that remake of Silent Hill 2 they did where they removed the fog. It's like,
Well, like the Kung Fury like button pusher, right? Like that game.
No.
You just click back and forth. It looks like you're on an old CRT.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool, but like Silent Hill is like worse than that.
I don't know.
And it's like, how the fuck would I work with that? You know.
You know what would be cool if all games had the Halo remastered collection button where they switch between old version and new version with a switch of the button. That was cool as fuck.
I could get behind that though. That's a thing that all like remasters should have available. Like all of them, I mean, like not just some.
I'm looking at you, Diamond and Pearl, but we'll talk about that next week, like I said.
You got some words for me, Jesse? Don't forget them.
I know. I have words for everyone. But that's next week.
You already know You already know where I stand on most of those types of games.
Oh, yeah.
I like it when they give me more, not less, but if they just give me the same and they don't take anything away, whatever. It's not like I'm super ecstatic about it, but I'm just okay with it.
Anyways, I think we've been going for an hour starting from when we failed and stopped. So to keep these episodes nice, lean, and my sanity when I'm editing, I think we're going to have to cut it here.
Gotcha.
And you know what? We ended up going a lot longer than when I originally said we should stop because I was thinking my brain was turning off.
Well, it's just finding new topics.
I know.
Well.
But my brain was not in find new topics mode. It was sleep mode. So.
Mine too. I got to hang out with family after this. You
get to find all the new topics while you're hanging with family.
Well, I mean, I already know everything I want to talk about in regards to Pokemon. I'm going to bring up that fighting game concept we talked about with Pokemon Tournament, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, hope y'all had fun. Bye.
Bye.